Hello and welcome to a video that isn't exactly what the original person who suggested. It's not going to be exactly that because this was suggested originally by Tom Universe. And Tom Universe said two things. One of them will be a different video though, so I'm going to save it for later. But one of them was, what if Logan actually drowned and Jade got sued? I thought about actually doing that. But somebody already called me a Satanist for joking around about Logan drowning, which is freaking disgusting, by the way. Don't compare me to someone that terrible because of my opinion on a fictional character. I know that person definitely wouldn't like my takes on Jake, that's for sure. But two, guys, if Logan actually drowned, I think that the show would be canceled. I don't think they would just keep going. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to title the video Almost Drowned. Well, I guess he did almost drown. I'll see what I title the video. But he's going to be medically evacuated in deep water. So, yeah. In deep water originally, this is Benji's elimination episode. But during the challenge, the people that go to help, which is everyone besides Richard because of Jade, the people that go to help are not able to free him fast enough, and he ends up passing out underwater. And after he's given the CPR by Spencer to give Odd Nation their clickbait thumbnail, he wakes up and he's like coughing up blood. So we can say like the rocks like really injured him or something. But regardless, he's not going to die, but he's in critical condition, and he is removed from the show. Because of that, he will not be competing in the comeback, and he also will not be, will not be a member of the jury. He's too busy getting medical treatment. But then we have Fright Night. And what I do want to say here is everyone is anti-Jade at this point, including Isabelle. Everybody is anti-Jade at this point because whenever it happened, Richard freaking lost it. Because not only is Richard good friends with Logan, but if Logan like was actually gonna almost die here, and Jade really screwed up here, way more than in canon. So everyone would just try to absolutely, like, people would, I think Emily, Derek, and Trevor would even consider kicking Jade off. But I think that in the next episode, it would just be poor, depressed Jade. And I think the only person that would even interact with her, like Benji's honors, or was on her side, but wouldn't interact with her. Everybody's just not interacting with her, except I think Isabelle. She would repent to Isabelle. They'd use the same kind of confessional thing that Natalia and Isabelle used earlier. But I don't think Natalia would be very much help here. Now, who wins immunity in canon? It's actually Isabelle. And I've thought of something that I'm going to say I think it is in Disventure Camp, but it's never been used. But I think it can be used in other game shows, at least real life ones. And that is giving up your immunity that you've won to somebody else. So I think that Isabelle will see the genuine regret in Jade and genuinely forgive Jade, at least on Logan's behalf, right? And I do believe that Isabelle would give up her spot for Jade by the end of the episode, which obviously would piss off everybody else and get Isabelle absolutely destroyed. Now, once we get to Up in the Air, Isabelle is competing in this, but Logan is not. And they get to pick their helpers, but hearing about the situation, no one wants to interact with Jade except Isabelle, which, by the way, Jade has been trying to apologize to Richard and is trying to show how truly sorry she is. Even, like, Spencer is, like, starting to distance himself from Jade. He's like, seriously, this is just gross, and Jade feels like she's freaking full-on depressed. But we get to Deadweight, and I think, or we get to Up in the Air, and I think, who do I think is going to help each member? I think Ted will take Richard. I think that Tristan is Benji. Linda is honestly. Wait, what the heck? I just realized Marissa's here. That's not right. But regardless, Linda is. Wait, yeah, Amelie's not supposed to be there either. Okay, forget that they were there. They're supposed to be coming back right now. That's my bad. Anyways, I guess I don't really know. It doesn't really matter because I'm just gonna say that the same people win as in canon because Jade being depressed and Logan not being able to help doesn't really affect much. Also, Isabelle not being there just gives Marissa a better helper, which would mean that because Isabelle's not there to sabotage the help, Anastasia helps Marissa, and they very easily make it together. So I think that it probably would just be the same. Maybe you can make an argument for somebody else, but I don't really think it would affect much. Like, I think Jade wouldn't be able to get Isabelle in, for example. Regardless, we move on to Dead Weight. Now, Dead Weight, who wins Dead Weight originally? It is originally won by, Logan. Well, for some reason, I don't think that's gonna happen this time, and instead, I think that everyone would use this opportunity, or at least some of the people would use this opportunity to ask Jade a lot of questions, and it would be stuff like, do you genuinely regret what you did to Logan? Was what you did wrong? Are you actually sad about it? Was it a game move that you were trying to sabotage him? And she would answer true, or she would answer the truth every single time, with her being like, if she could go back in time, it's one of her biggest regrets in life. She made a huge mistake. She apologizes a lot, and I think that this would actually be able to win her a few sympathy points from a few people. And those people are mainly Spencer, as well as Benji, and also, honestly, I could see Richard being a very forgiving person, and also being the person Jade's tried to talk to the most. I think Richard and Jade would have a pretty big moment this episode of him forgiving her and her crying and hugging him. So I could see that. I could also see Marissa, like not maybe aligning with her, but genuinely forgiving her, while Anastasia, Zayd, Natalia, and then Amelie and maybe Hannah, I don't see any of them stopping their hate, especially Natalia. I think Natalia would just kind of be an asshole about it, because Natalia, number one, is an asshole, but number two, she was really close to Logan. So I think including Richard, because them two are close as well, but Richard's mad at her, I think that we'd actually get overall Natalia out here, and Jade would continue in the game. So then we get to Hell of a Deal, which honestly I think would go about the same, the only difference being that Benji's here instead of Logan. I think that's about right, because Natalia was eliminated at the same time as in canon, so all those reasons would also affect her elimination. This is Spencer's elimination episode, but I don't think that'd be the case, because I think if they were to go for Spencer, they'd go for Jade still. Which, honestly, I think Anastasia, Zayd, Amelie, and Hannah want to go for Jade and get her out of the game. I believe she still doesn't deserve to be here. But Marissa would kind of be the flip vote. So does she want to go with the person she genuinely forgives, or does she want to go with her girlfriend, as well as Hannah, Amelie, and Jade? So I'm still going to say that Jade's had enough forgiveness and moments. I also don't think Jade would be able to get any extra money from people. I think Spencer would want the immunity for himself. I think actually, I like the idea of Anastasia getting the advantage and using it in this episode. So she gets it to steal Marissa's vote just in case, which kind of makes Marissa feel like Anastasia doesn't trust her. But not enough to break up or anything. And she steals Marissa's vote, making it a surefire elimination for Jade. So then we get to Thief in the Night. We continue the what if, even though Jade's gone, because Benji's still here over Logan and Richard's still here over Jade. Thief in the Night is sadly going to be changed to where we don't get our legendary elimination where Isabelle pits Marissa and Anastasia against each other. However, I actually think we still could. And how I think this would happen is I think that there would be a really big argument this episode, and they still wouldn't break up, but I do think that it would end with, and obviously we would have to change a few things and add a lot more build up throughout these episodes to this. Maybe I think a lot of it could be Anastasia joining in on the bullying of Jade for what she did to Logan, because Anastasia and Logan had their rivalry, but they still both genuinely cared about each other. So I think that it would have to be hinted a lot more, but I think that these four would go Anastasia with Marissa thinking that she needs to get out for her own good, while these four go for Marissa because they're all mad at Marissa for switching up on them, mainly Anastasia, which, by the way, they've all become an alliance. Zayd and Anastasia are good in canon, and then like Amelie and Hannah as well. So we still get our Marissa Anastasia thing this episode, but I think it'd be a lot more grand and a lot more emotional, and I think they both forgive each other and hug at the end. But I do think I'm actually gonna give this win to Marissa, just because for plot reasons I think it'd be better. Even in canon, I think it'd be better, but here I think it'd be better if she got eliminated here. Now, this would obviously cause Zayd, Amelie, and Hannah to calm down a little more with it, but they weren't being that bad. It was mainly Natalia and, and Anastasia. So then we get to Pit Stop, and Pit Stop is originally, I believe it's actually, so Jade wins the immunity, but it's Zayd's episode. Oh, not that BS. It's one of the worst eliminations in Disventure Camp, Total Drama, or any other game show's history. Well, regardless, I think that here, who was close to winning immunity? I don't know. Let me check. Oh, yeah, no, this was the one where it was who knows better. Who knows people better, and Jade was surprisingly a social butterfly. Wasn't Zayd... Yeah, Zayd was the one who did the best here, and I think that Zayd would do better than Marissa, Richard, and Benji. So I think Zayd wins the immunity here, but I actually think that this is where Amelie and Hannah, who were hoping that they could get in good with these people, by letting Zayd get out first, would now kind of scramble, and I think that Hannah would be able to still be in good with Benji, which she has been this whole time. They've just been on different sides because Benji forgave Jay a lot sooner than Hannah did. So Hannah is able to go insert herself into this alliance, and I think that Amelie, seeing this, is able to go with Spencer. But since Spencer and Benji are cool, they were about to think they have a whole rivalry going, but it doesn't happen, and they end up all four aligning, and they decide that while they like them, they're going to try to take out these three next, because mainly Richard and Marissa are the biggest threats on the island. And I think that they would start with, honestly, I think for plot reasons, it's better for Richard to get out here. But I think realistically, I could see them going for either, because both of them are probably some of the strongest members here. Of the cast, as well as, like, I guess Diego physically, but I think it'd be good for Richard to go here. He's kind of served his purpose. So then we get to Taking New Heights. Now, this is the episode where we have pairs, and these pairs, I think that we would have... Oh, they don't get to choose their pairs, so I think we'd have Benji and... Benji and Amelie don't have really good personalities that clash, or their personalities clash, I should say. They do have good personalities as characters. I think we can get Spencer and Marissa. I think that'd be pretty good. And then Hannah and Zayd. And overall, Anastasia and Isabelle win in canon, but literally none of the canon people are here except for Hannah and Amelie. So instead, I think the people that'd be able to work best together is probably Hannah and Zayd, But of course, Hannah doesn't want Zayd to win immunity that bad. But I mean, they can just get Marissa out. And I think even with Amelie and Benji clashing, while Benji would kind of want Amelie gone now, I don't think it's enough for them to stop from just taking out Marissa next. Not every single episode has to have like a big flip or dramatic elimination, right? So then we have Dunces and Dragons, a really cool concept, a really cool idea, but it got out Isabelle, which really sucks. However, I do think that in this episode, Benji would absolutely destroy everybody else in this, as well as bond a hell of a lot with Hannah, because Hannah also is insanely good at this and insanely nerdy when it comes to D&D and all this. So I think I also think Zayd would probably be the one who gets eaten by the mimic box, and then Spencer and Amelie just wouldn't do as good throughout. But I think Benji and Hannah would have a really fun fight for the throne, and overall they would have a great time. But speaking of, I should say, Hannah's having a lot better of a time, minus the whole Logan almost dying thing. But her Hannah curse hasn't really affected her for most of this. I mean, Benji and Amelie are still here, but I think overall, I'm going to give this win to Benji, which might actually be Hannah's undoing, because I think seeing how well these two worked together and bounced off each other, and seeing Amelie seeing how quick Hannah was to try and betray her for Benji, I think that this would be the time where her and Spencer would make the logical decision to rope in Zayd and eliminate Hannah. Now this would cause that split that Zayd and Benji have to come to fruition from earlier. Because remember, Zayd still doesn't like Benji. Just there's been bigger problems going on ever since Benji got out Ivy. So now he feels like it's fair. And now he's like, okay, now we're good. But now Benji's super mad at him. So yeah, we get the panel of peers where Ivy and Tristan spend a lot of the episode really concerned about their partners. Well, I guess Tringy wouldn't be canon just yet, but I'm still going to say their partners not being on the best terms. Meanwhile, everything else would still go pretty similar. I think that just the jury in general would be a lot more split though, but we'll get to that after Hit the Brakes. And in Hit the Brakes, I think that it's going to be a tiebreaker, just like it was in canon, where it would be Amelie and Spencer versus... Well, actually, do I, though? Actually, you know what? I don't. Because I think Amelie and Spencer would be able to use Benji's emotion to go ahead and just take out Zayd here. His high emotion from the last elimination. They just say they did what they had to do, while Zayd was the one who came up to them and orchestrated the plan. While obviously that's a lie, it's definitely something Spencer and Amelie would do, so Benji does get out Zayd. Also, I don't think Zayd would be the best at this challenge anyway. I think Spencer would probably win. Which, by the way, Spencer has made Final 3. The GOAT has arrived. So we get to judge, jury, and executioner. And while I talk about everybody, while I bring up everybody, there we go, I will say who I think wins immunity. And I think that the person who'd be able to lock in and win immunity the easiest would be Spencer. Also, I think that's a good idea just because Spencer would still definitely lose most jury votes. Also, I completely forgot to bring up Anastasia. That's everybody, right? Yeah, because Logan's a little busy. Although, maybe, should I give Logan, maybe he, mailed in a vote? Yeah, actually, I'm going to do that because I think Logan mails in a vote and also mails in a forgiveness letter to Jade, and because he's been watching the show as well, and he mails a forgiveness letter into Jade, and Jade cries reading it, and that'd be a big moment. But regardless, or maybe he calls her on cell and she apologizes to him, he forgives her, I don't know. Regardless, we come to the vote, and I'm just going to use these two, and I'm going to put Amelie here, Benji here. And if Logan votes for Benji, that means he wants Benji eliminated. So, who do I think Logan would go for here? I think Logan is not really that close to either of these people. He didn't really have time to get close to Hannah. But I think that he knows. I think that he just like the idea of Benji winning more than Amelie because he never had time to get close to either of these two people. So I'm gonna say overall, Logan votes to get Amelie eliminated here. Natalia likes. I think Natalia likes Amelie's game more, but also doesn't like that Benji forgave Jade so fast. I think Natalia and Anastasia still don't forgive Jade, which would also be a plot point. And until maybe at least Anastasia would after Logan forgives. But I think Natalia would still be a bitch about it. So I think she'd still go Benji here. She'd respect Amelie's game more. Jade, after this big moment, would probably go Amelie just because she knows that Benji and Spencer are good friends. And also Benji forgave her way quicker than Amelie did. As for Richard, Richard is probably I can't remember. I think he was close with Benji. No, he was close with Logan. That means he wasn't really close with either of them. I think since he's been on the Elimination Island, he would keep Benji in. Yeah, this could be part of that storyline. He would keep Benji in to try to get Benji to win the money so that him and Tristan could be happy because him and Tristan had that whole Richard and Tristan, I should say, had that whole rivalry going on that lasted like 2 episodes that they were going to have together back before Tristan was eliminated. And I think Richard would just really want to see Tristan and Benji become good. So, especially with Zayd throwing a wrench into that, and Benji himself. So, as for Marissa, I think Marissa would vote to get Amelie eliminated since Marissa was betrayed by Amelie more so than Benji, and also since she finds Benji more honorable than Amelie, gameplay-wise. As for Hannah, obviously Hannah loves both of these people dearly, and she still loves Amelie, but I actually think that she's going to vote to get out Amelie here because that's the reason she got out, was because of Amelie. So she'd be mad at Amelie, but not like defriending that. And obviously Zayd's going to go for Benji, but it doesn't matter because our final 2 is Spencer and Benji. A final 2 that I think everybody would have been more happy with. To be honest, I actually think... Wait, where's Isabelle? Hold on, I forgot about Isabelle. Regardless of who she votes for, it doesn't matter. Is there somebody else I forgot? No. I'm surprised that I remember that. I'm surprised. I probably already got like 2 comments. I can hear them already. Isabelle would go for Benji or Amelie. Benji or Amelie. I think that she would probably go for Amelie from a gameplay standpoint. Also, as a nun, I think that she's taught to forgive. Because I think Catholic is pretty much the same as Christian. Regardless, I think that's still something nuns do. Yeah, I think Catholic's just professional Christian. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Isabelle does forgive Jade, even more so by this point. Because remember, she had that whole, like, she gave up her spot for Jade, but she still was struggling to forgive Jade just because she only did that because she was still friends with Jade. But she still had her own personal, not really hatred, but you know what I mean, to get through. And now she has. Just because I think that her personality would find that a little bit hard. Amelie does that, and then we can bring the jury down. I don't know why that's there. And we have our final 2 of Spencer and Benji. 2 that I think equally deserve this win. And to be honest, with Spencer not really being a villain in the second half of the season, I think I'm going to go ahead and give the win to him instead of Benji, because I want to give Benji the happy ending of having the whole moment with Tristan, while Zayd forgives Benji, and they hug it out after seeing how happy Benji makes Tristan. They hug it out and they're good, and after that the scene with Ivy and Zayd takes place. So overall, this is how I think it would go if Logan was medically evacuated. If y'all do want me to try to figure out a way for the show to continue even with Logan dying, I might do it someday, but it won't be soon because, guys, I have said it in the past like 3 videos. I'm going to keep saying it for a couple more, though, in case, obviously, some people don't watch every video. Guys, I'm sorry, but I gotta cut off video suggestions for a while. I'm so happy I got them. I have so many good ideas, or y'all have so many good ideas. I do too, I guess. But, yo, I have like 50, and I gotta get through them first. So, for like the next week or 2, I'll start saying it for like a couple videos straight once I'm ready to open them back up again. But they are closed down for a little bit. I won't be taking any more. But yeah, thanks once more to Tom Universe for your suggestion. One of your other suggestions I'm also going to be doing because it's even more fire than this. I just don't have enough time to do a bigger one right now. Although I have yapped a lot. How long have I been yapping for? 26 minutes? Dang. But yeah, thanks once more, and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. See ya.